Hey, everybody, welcome to this bonus episode of the cool. No, this is not just the cool Daddy Slick Breeze show. This is the Disc Golf Fancy Man show, but I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. I have with me Jeremy Rusco. Phil.
Oh, jeez, we got all kinds of names today.
And Tyler, the man on the road, Searle.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So it's a bonus episode. You're probably wondering what's going on. I'm getting ready to go on my Christmas weekend. I already thought I had enough of Disc Golf Fancy Man, but we have more for you. Tyler Searle is one of our RV drivers, goes all over the country, spreads the good word of disc golf, and he's stopping by to do some planning for 2019 with Jeremy and everybody here. Are you picking up a bunch of product too?
I tried to. Like, I was in the warehouse pulling stuff, and I got like 94 dirty looks from all the warehouse floor guys and the accountants. And Taylor, if you guys don't know Taylor came out of his office. Like, Taylor doesn't ever do that. And he came out of his office and he gave me a dirty look. He tried to smile at me, but he like couldn't because I was taking stuff. I was like, I'm stopping. I'm done. Because they're starting inventory like at noon. They were starting inventory at noon.
Oh, noon.
Yeah. And it was literally like 11:42. And I was trying to grab some stuff.
It seems like the bigger we get, the more protocols, the more standard, which is good though. It's good. You got to have those things in place, but man, we got to be sticklers for the rule.
Dude, Bobby, I'm sure you remember Jeremy. I know you do. It used to be like just frisbee. Like, I would I'd come home and I'd be like, hey, I'm going to get like these frisbees. And it would be like, okay.
Yeah.
What did you get? I was like, 4 orange ones and 3 red ones.
Yeah.
And I've got like a time hop. I'm sure it'll come up here pretty soon. Like of a rental car that we had, because we used to have like, just SUVs. And when gas was $4 a gallon, we could literally like rent a car, like a Chevy Malibu.
Yeah.
They got 35 miles a gallon. We just drive it and save $200 to get our family here. And I've got a time hop that it's just loaded, like just loose frisbees in every gap and crevice in the back of that Chevy Malibu. I find that time hop tag in it.
That's hilarious.
It is. It was ridiculous.
Maybe we'll find a fugitive in that picture. Maybe that's when the fugitive was still around.
Dude, they were making a run for it. Those fugitives.
So it is the Friday before Christmas weekend. Some of you probably have 4-day weekends. Some of you may not. You may only have Christmas off, but hopefully you're able to enjoy the holidays with family and friends. And hopefully maybe if you're on a long drive, maybe we can be part of your drive for the next hour. We're going to do like a little bit year in review with Tyler. Stories from the road.
There we go.
So how was 2018 for you being out there in the RV?
Oh, man, 2018 was awesome. So this was my first full year of being like solo, my RV, nobody else's stuff on it. Like for the previous, this was my 6th year, I think, driving an RV.
Okay.
So it had always been like a shared program, right? It's like everybody knows, like we started off with me and then just like a part-time season because I was working seasonal with the being on the boat, and then we'd do seasonal work. And then when we started going full-time, we brought J Ray on, and J Ray he and I would share an RV. So he'd go for a couple weeks, I'd go for a couple weeks, and we'd cover the country that way. And then Matt Lloyd came on, and with Matt, we were doing the same thing, sharing the RV here and there. And then he went full-time, took an RV, and we got another RV. And then me and Chris Wiggins and I were kind of sharing and going back and forth. And then Chris, when he broke his head and had to like not drive an RV for several months.
That sounds awful.
Well, he's okay now.
Yeah.
I love him. He's great. He sends me some fantastic pictures of the mountains in Montana now. It's awesome. Do you know he lives in Montana? It's pretty great. Yeah. But so now Chris is Chris is gone and doing his thing, and we didn't bring anybody else on, and I got to go all by myself, which is different. I had to figure out how to not have someone pick the RV up or maybe leave the RV or kind of maybe sometimes, unfortunately, drive a little bit further than I want to at night to get back to the house,
right.
Because I didn't have somebody else picking it up. But it was great because I got to there's lots of places when you trade, you don't get to meet and see everybody because the RV will move 1,000 miles
right
in between spots. So I got to go to a lot of places maybe I haven't seen in several years. And unfortunately, a couple of places I didn't get to go because we didn't cover quite as much ground. But it was awesome. I did 101 unique events this year.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of events.
Last year, I thought I was busy. I worked like 77 events last year, did 101 this year.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You're crazy.
So what's kind of your method of operation or whatever? What usually happens when you arrive to a town and you're ready to set up?
Yeah, it time of year, obviously. I tell you what, every disc golfer hates daylight savings, but time of year definitely dictates a little bit how you work and how you serve each community and that kind of thing. So right now, being the wintertime, it's really tough. Like I'm happy to go hang out at like putting leagues and stuff with people this time of year, or more flex starts. We'll start flex starts much earlier, whereas like Flex Start Fridays usually are a 12 o'clock start, but this time of year it's like 10 to 3 because you have to have the last tee time at 3:00 because where I'm at, I mean, we're in Central Time Zone in Florida where I live. It's dark. Like it is dark. Go to bed dark at 4:45.
Ugh.
So it's nuts. It's
That's
terrible.
But so you pull up, and of course you've already made arrangements with a club or something like that, or a park, and you pull up and you do a full on setup. But you're the way you run events is a little different from place to place, right?
Yep. So yeah, I like to work at the club, especially in so many of these places now. Like we've kind of dialed in our territories where I'm primarily southeast now, outside of the peak of summer when it's just too darn hot, and we go north then. But those clubs now know what we do. I know what they do. So if they want me to do a 2-disc challenge, because we just did a C tier, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, last year, we'll do a 2-disc challenge. If they want to do doubles, night, we'll do doubles night. So those leaders know their communities. They know what they want to see. Kind of sometimes maybe they just maybe somebody just came through and they just had their local club trilogy challenge, so they don't want to do like a 2-disc kind of deal. So we're gonna let's do a C tier. Let's do a Flex Art C tier. Let's do a full blown C tier on a Saturday. So willing to work, be flexible, but as long as we're having a good time and everybody gets, like, my main goal is just to get everybody together, have some fun, throw some plastic, and just fellowship around the disc golf course.
What do you think is the most popular format when you're out there?
We were just talking about this. For me, I love playing doubles. Yeah, I love playing doubles. Not everybody does. Those top pros guys that we always make dirty looks at, that they don't want to play doubles. They don't play doubles. But I love it, and I love getting those good pros out, like you course pros. I love it when you guys come out and play, because that gives that guy that's new the chance to play with you. And man, amazing benefits that provides for that new player. You guys, if there's doubles going on in your town and you're the best player in town, go play. Get that random drop. Yeah. Get paired up with that player.
So Jeremy, I was going to ask you, Jeremy. So we're about growing the sport of disc golf, because the bigger the sport grows, the better for all of us that want to see disc golf grow. So why is it important for guys like Tyler to get an RV and kind of have a traveling store and taking it to different places?
Well, there's a lot of good things about bringing disc golf to communities, and obviously the local contacts usually are doing something to grow disc golf, of course. But then when you bring the Latitude 64 RV in, or you bring Searle RV or anything dynamic discs, it helps bring more spotlight on disc golf. We're trying to reach out to community members sometimes to try to bring out more players throughout the community. Sometimes, depending on how busy things are or not, we can get more involved in the communities and get some media and press around disc golf being a part of something that we've got going on. And so I think it has an opportunity to get more people involved in disc golf and make it seem like it is a bigger deal. And we think disc golf is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. And the RV certainly makes it look like a big deal. So I'm spoiled now because I see it from this, I'm looking out of the RV and I don't see it behind me all the time, but man, it makes a big difference. Like we're just going to talk. We're just talking disc golf today, so sorry guys if we're kind of, you listeners, if we float around. But we had a great charity fundraiser last Saturday. That's like not a week ago yet, 6 days ago. We used to always do a charity event in my hometown. So Fort Walton Beach is where I live, and it kind of leadership changed. With clubs happens, and it kind of we got away from it. And I think I was down in Gainesville the beginning of this month, the beginning of December, and it just got on my heart. I was like, man, I don't know what happened, but I was like, we haven't been doing that charity tournament. I should throw a charity tournament. Let me ask my wife, because it wasn't on the calendar, right? So I was like, hey, can we do a charity? And she said, sure.
Got to get that 101st event.
That's right. Got to get that 101. But she said, sure. And so I got with the local leadership, like Jeremy was talking about. I reached out to, I live in town, and I love my hometown and I love my people, but I don't own that town disc golf. So I got with the local leaders like you would anywhere. And I talked to them, said, hey, have you guys got anything going on? Kind of what I want to do. We benefited the Homelessness and Housing Alliance in town and the Fort Walton Beach Parks and Rec. And we raised over $1,500, 2 weeks notice.
Wow.
77 players showed up, $20 entry fee, non-sanctioned. They got a South 64 shirt. They got I got minis from Disc Golf Center. Shout out to Wade at Disc Golf Center.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, he gave me minis for everybody. We got free French fries. I didn't set up the course. This is the first time I've ever done this at home. I didn't set up the course. We set up at a restaurant in downtown Fort Walton Beach, and they provided free French fries as a player pack item for everybody. So they got free fries, and they ran drink specials, and we just had a great time. I mean, they got more player pack stuff. I was able to put $10 from each player's entry. We went 5 and 5, and then we did $10 a payout. And We sold whole sponsors, raised more money for the foundation, took a little bit of money for that, a little bit of money for the players. So we had like a nice payout, and we raised a whole bunch of money, and we got that community together to fellowship and for a good cause. And that's what I love about disc golf. I mean,
that's awesome. So now 101 different spots. Give me like 3 or 4 that really stuck out to you.
Well, I mean, I got to go to AM Worlds this year.
Yeah.
First time in a while that I've done that, and that was fantastic. I mean, Charlotte Disc Golf.
They got it going on.
Yeah, they got a few courses up there if you guys didn't know, and they do a really good job. Like their leadership has been doing it for so long, they got it tight. And Robert Leonard, he was the TD this year, and he was trained by our main man Sam Nicholson, and he was real mad that you didn't come to AM Worlds this year. By the way,
sorry, Sam.
He delivered a message for you there. He had some
I miss my Charlotte
words.
crew.
Yeah, man, we used to be there all the time, and that was great. I mean, Charlotte. I got to stay at the host hotel, so I got to be right there in the buzz, feel that buzz. When you get 1,000 players together, you know, it's a really special feeling. And, you know, like when we have GBO going on, obviously that we're blessed to have that 1,000 players in this community that's smaller than Charlotte. So you lose a little bit of that, but those guys did such a good job of just keeping that energy high and tight. And the players, we got to set up at a course that was indoors. That was awesome because we had some weather, of course, because it wouldn't be a week-long term without some weather.
Yeah.
But boy, it was a good time. We had a really good time with that one. So AM Worlds was awesome. Charlotte's a great place for golf. Shout out to my buddy Bain for helping me out with that one because that is a long week. To do that by yourself is impossible. So had some help from a good friend, had a good time. And they have a whitewater center there. Have you ever been to a whitewater center?
A whitewater center?
It was an Olympic training facility for whitewater kayaking.
Wow.
So you think disc golf's weird, but there's an actual Olympic training facility for whitewater kayaking. That's where they had the player party. That place was awesome.
Did you get the whitewater while you were practicing? Okay.
We had, because of work, we didn't. They shut like the last reservations down at 4, and like we didn't get there till like 6.
Don't blame everything on work.
That's the boss, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
And you were at Reedy Creek, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I loved that park.
There's veteran baskets out there now. Is that
it was beautiful.
Awesome.
I mean, it was one of those classic Charlotte, you know, wooded, semi-wooded courses, and I got some pictures of like the sun coming through the trees on hitting those baskets. There's nothing better than a white veteran basket on a wooded course. It just pops.
Yeah, it does.
It's so crisp. I love it.
Yeah,
so beautiful.
So now me and Jeremy, we get to travel quite a bit as well, but you obviously out travel us with all the different places you go to.
Don't count yourself short, Bobby. Now, come on.
We went to Bowling Green Amateur Championships together this year.
Well, I know, but I haven't been to 101 different spots. So what's from looking at 2018, what does the disc golf ecosystem look like? What, I mean, does it really feel like it's growing like we think it is? Are you meeting a bunch of new people, a bunch of people that have been playing for a while?
I really feel like it's the new player aspect of disc golf. It's absolutely still growing. It's so cool to see how excited those new players are when you go out. Like I think about, I had a little schedule shift late in the season where I was going to be up in Birmingham, didn't get to go to Birmingham, ended up kind of sliding over to Augusta, South Carolina for the Augusta Classic. It's like an A tier the day to move because of a hurricane. We had a lot of hurricanes in the southeast this year. But because of that pushback, I got to go. And I got to do, I was there for several days, and I got to do 2 events on Sunday. So I did a Sunday morning setup, and then I was able to get to a club on the way home Sunday night. And it was a place I'd never been before, Chehaw State Park in South Georgia. It's really out in the middle of nowhere, but it's beautiful. And 5 different clubs showed up at this state park out in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
To come play disc golf. And when you're in that kind of a rural area, they're new. Like there's no disc golf stores in their towns.
Yeah.
They play with their same 10 buds. You know, it's a small club, they're small towns. So we pulled this thing together on a whim, and 5 clubs were able to get together. I mean, so the new players, they're out there, they're excited. They traveled for a 2-disc challenge, you know, for Ramjaw Dubs. And so they're out there and they're excited. That's for sure.
Cool. So so Jeremy, a lot of times when we get people that send in questions, we find out that they haven't really played a lot of tournaments or a lot of organized disc golf. They're out just playing casual. They obviously, you know, they fall in love with the sport. Why is it if someone hasn't played an event like a 2-disc challenge or any kind of doubles that Tyler has going on, why should they come play?
Well, they should go see Ty because he's stinking awesome.
Very true. Very true.
I'm all red. I'm
in all seriousness, though, I mean, it's a different it's a different festive atmosphere when we've got our events going on, especially with Ty being out there. It's, you go to a sanctioned event sometimes, and Ty's running a bunch of different events. He's running sanctioned events. He's running doubles. He's running 2-disc challenges, 16 different other events that work for the local area. But obviously, you're going to be greeted, welcomed. You're going to feel like you know what's going on right away because Ty is able to reel you in because he's going to be yelling at you when you're pulling out of your car. But it's just a more relaxed environment that can really help you take that next step. I feel like because it's kind of like most of these events are not the typical bigger tier sanctioned event, so it's a more relaxed environment that can really get you that spark to want to start playing into more competitive events and get involved more with your leagues and just do more for disc golf in general. So if you haven't been out to see Ty in the RV or any of the Dynamic Discs events out in the RV, definitely encourage you to come out there. Even if it's just to say hi. Usually the guys on the RV have something cool, something special to show you, and definitely would just want to have a conversation. So come out and see them.
Yeah, tons of folks do that. People, talk about work, it's a bad word, but sometimes it doesn't work out. You're not gonna be able to make tee time. But yeah, come on out. We got the test drive bins. That's hands down. Even those guys that throw other manufactured frisbees, I don't know why, but they still love those test drive bins. They're like, this is so cool. I can't believe it. I wish, I could throw every one of them.
I mean, I've obviously seen them. It's just basically a handful of bins that are full of beat in of our molds, and you just take it out to a field nearby and just toss them. See if you like them, see if you don't, but it's a good way to get a feel for the different discs.
It's awesome.
And sometimes they got some prototype discs or some unreleased stuff, and the only way you get to try that stuff out is if you go see them.
Yep, you got to ask me about it because that stuff's not in the bin. That stuff walks away. I'll go inside and get that one.
So life on the road, Tyler, tell us what it is, because 101 stops, what does that equate to? Have you ever figured out exactly how long that means you are living out on the road?
This year it was 122 travel days.
122 travel days.
Yep, 122. So a third of the year, you're out there. Some days are good, some days are bad.
Tell us what equates to a bad day.
Rain.
Rain. Oh man, rain. But you know what? I felt like a guru at Bowling Green this year. We've all these guys that go to Bowling Green and come to these big tournaments, and all these other vendors and tournament directors that you see out there on the road. This year, I drilled my bins. I drilled holes in the bottom. So they
genius.
Oh my gosh. I've only been doing this for 6 years.
The secret's been revealed.
And I mean, Jeremy's been doing it for 6 more years than me, and he never drilled any bins. And when I started drilling those bins at Bowling Green, it was raining, and all the other guys were like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? I was like, why didn't any of us think of it? What's wrong with us all? We're all doofuses. So I'm
assuming it just needed to be the smallest of all.
It could be whatever it is.
Right.
It works no matter if it's
that would
big
have
or
been
small.
helpful at the Tennessee, the Titan disc golf experience, because we were pouring buckets of water out of those things.
I feel like J. Ray may have done that after that event. I'm not sure, but I feel like
I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm sure he knew I did. I put the word out. When I was the guy that was just picking up his bins and there was no water and they weren't heavy and I wasn't dumping them, everybody was like, wow.
Okay, so what constitutes a bad day? Not let's say it's not disc golf related. It's more RV life related.
Yep. This is water is
I'm looking
terrible.
for a good story here.
Water is terrible. And just recently, 2 weeks ago, I was driving to Gainesville, Florida for the Chain Hawk Open. Shout out the Chain Hawks. We were going down, I had my brother with me. We hop on, we're pulling up the on-ramp onto I-10, and I hear this bump, 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 kind of sound. Not not the world is ending catastrophic damage sound, but sometimes when it's cold and it was a colder morning and the heat gets on the RV, the sidewalls. Have you guys ever experienced that, where the sidewalls will kind of heat up and expand a little bit?
Oh yeah.
So there's sounds, it's sounds. It's an RV. It's got sounds. So bump, 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 bump. And we drive to Gainesville, no problem. Have a good trip and get down there. We're kind of scouting the course out, walking around. And as we're walking back to the RV, it is as if someone had taken a snow shovel and scraped the top of the RV off, and it was just peeled back.
What?
Peeled back and just there.
It's like it got scalped.
Yeah, like it got scalped.
What happened?
So
it just got disconnected and just
there's
the
seams.
wind, I guess?
There's
Yeah.
seams in the there's a rubber mat on top
Right.
of the RV, and it's seamed together with like tape. And that seam, which over time had weather checked and cracked, and a little bit of air got in there, and it started working it and working it,
man.
and it didn't sound like, that's the thing. Like it was literally just going bump, 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 and then no catastrophic sound or anything like that. It just stopped making the bump bump. We're like, okay, heat it up, we're good. And so imagine driving 6 hours, and getting in at, let's say 3:30 in the afternoon, doing a little scouting work, and realizing that the roof of your RV now is completely exposed, and there is 100% chance of rain the next day.
Not good.
That's a bad day.
100% chance. And so, I mean, my brother and I aren't good carpenters or craftsmen. We're really good at like putting a Band-Aid on things. Like, we're good at that. So you run over to Home Depot, buy some Flex Seal.
Yep.
Like for real. If you guys, there's a YouTube guy called Cajun Nerd,
Yep.
and he does a great Flex Seal video. So we were trying to turn that thing into a submarine, and we got the Flex. I got up, we bought the stuff, went. We had a campsite that night. Got to the campsite, and the sun is going down fast. Like it's now we're getting darker, and I scurry on top of the RV, and it feels like a marshmallow up there. It's just soft. I'm like, oh boy, I'm like trying to spread out and not fall through the thing, and get some tape and tape down I cut off the wood part that's all peeled back, and then I tape it down and then roll that Flex Seal over it. It's like just gluing it down. And it's supposed to cure for 24 hours, and it started raining like 9 hours later. So, the RV had a little leak. Like it had just started to leak in the first part of December, or like the very, very end of November. And I was gonna get it in as soon as the 101th event was done. It was going in to get the roof checked out, and then all of a sudden, catastrophic failure. And the leak where it was kind of over the table, and so we Flex Sealed it down, fixed it all up, and the leak moved to the back of the RV and started coming through one of the light sockets. And it would, when you would like, we got a tarp on it too. We would put a tarp on it when we could, but if you were unable to drive, like if you were driving and then you got somewhere and it was pouring rain and you didn't get the tarp on it, the water would, as you would move and drive away, it would imagine it would the wave would, and it would just run down the back door going into the garage like a waterfall. Sound good, Jeremy?
I'm just seeing dollar bills right now, just splashing away.
Has it gotten repaired yet, or is it getting repaired?
It's at the RV. We got a quote yesterday. Jeremy wasn't a big fan of it, so we're trying to get some more numbers.
Oh my goodness!
It rolls. Luckily, the engine's doing good.
Yeah,
shed a couple tears on that one.
Boy.
So people don't understand that it's a moving house that is shaking, moving constantly, which it just kind of tears away at the integrity of it. And the thing is these RVs are designed for vacations. They're not designed for 122 days on the road.
Right.
Not, they're not quite designed for that. They're designed for like the summer vacation, the wintertime vacation.
Grandma and Papa.
Right. Grandma and Papa getting somewhere and staying for a week, then going back and it being parked in a garage for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand the day-to-day trials of, if you follow Whale Pants and you follow Tina and Eric, I'm sure you're aware of all the trials that they go through.
Yeah, but Tina's amazing. She's like in there doing repair, cutting out stuff. I was like, I just got to run this tournament tomorrow. Just got. All
right, so those are the bad. Let's go to the good. What is the best part of all this?
Monday morning after tournament weekend.
Yeah,
because you can just stop. A shout out to also, I'm just dropping shout outs. I never say shout out.
Dropping names.
Shout out to the PDGA and the new tournament manager page link. It's not an app, but it's like an app. The way that you can report, it's so good. Love it. Appreciate you guys doing that work, because now, whereas I used to work for, 4 hours working on the tournament reporting, it's like I can be done with my coffee and then it's just, you can relax and be in that state park. I really try to, when I'm out, if I'm doing like a loop and I'm out, try to get that state park or maybe a hotel room and just relax, and you can just feel that. No 8:30 tea time.
Yeah.
No rain in the forecast today, and just that's the part of the road, especially when you can be in that state park system, that national park system, that's the good part about being on the road. Now I love the disc golfers and the people too,
Sure.
but when that becomes part of your job is to be able to see what this country has, that's when you're lucky. Like that's a pretty huge blessing.
That's awesome. Okay, so you said that you, again, 101 stops for 2019. Are we talking like going back to the same places, new places?
That's the hard part. I mean, and that's how I think we got from 77 to 101, because a lot of those are repeats. There's annual events where they, climate-wise, geographically, it works for me. They have good events. We have a history from a personal standpoint with me. Like I have a personal relationship. Corporate wise, we have a corporate relationship with people that really want an RV at their events. And so you kind of find yourself at similar ones. Like I know I have to be at Bowling Green. I know I have to be at Am Worlds. So those are kind of like the flag and GBO, those are, you build around those keystone events and then hope that you're able to get to people. And you don't want to tell people no. So when they have an event and they want you to come, then you say yes. And you add 24 more events or whatever it is and find yourself.
Now I'm going to ask you too, Tyler, but I wanted to get your perspective, Jeremy. A lot of times now I know just from going out there a couple times and being in meetings that sometimes there's a misconception that the RVs will take away from sales of a disc golf shop. So why would a disc golf shop want an RV to come by? But tell really why it is good for, if you own a disc golf shop nearby, why it's good to have an RV stop by.
Yeah, sure. And I'll let Ty kind of fill in the gaps here. But, it is the chance that a customer that's loyal to the local store is going to come out and shop at the RV, that there is a possibility that for the day of the event, you might lose a couple sales to the RV, but the long term is that hopefully more players get involved in disc golf in the local scene, which of course we're not going to be there except the 1 or 2 days. Hopefully then they become loyal customers to the disc golf shop that's there in town and get the bug for disc golf. And so the long-term success by getting an RV out, getting Ty out there to the event is hopefully getting more players involved, which grows the scene locally, which allows everybody to win in this scenario.
Absolutely. Perfect example. Just this morning, we had we had the fundraiser last weekend. I had a campus representative from Pensacola State College, or UWF, University of West Florida, actually. They came and played, and it was their first ever event. And he was like, holy cow, this is amazing. I love this. How can you help me? So I had like an hour-long phone call this morning about how to help him grow disc golf. This is not a disc golfer. This is a guy that just happened to come out, saw the RV. It immediately was like, wow, this is more than I thought disc golf was. This is something that we can get behind. And it plays back to a store in the same way that I was set up, 8 doors from one of our local shops that day. And the whole time I'm saying, we're talking about Jeremy's store, about going to Bob's and, what he's got. And that I knew he had a new order coming in. He had restock. We need these stores. Like I'm excited to promote that local store because I'm there, like Jeremy said, one day, I need those guys to have a great time with the disc golfers to enjoy those stores, to grow that community, to support that community. I want the disc golfers to support each other and support those local stores, because without these local stores and scenes, then we won't have more courses, more fun. Like Jeremy likes to talk about, we're putting 2 in a day. We got to make sure that everybody's having fun and supporting that local store.
I mean, I'm going to have to keep it real.
Come on now.
We're going to keep it real.
Come on now.
I mean, you're out there and you have all 3 brands, Dynamic Disc, Westside, Latitude. And we're obviously we're pushing this sport of disc golf, but we want people to be excited about our brands on the RV. And so if you're a disc golf shop and let's say maybe our brands aren't doing so great, or maybe they're doing good and you just want to reinforce those sales, I mean, this is going to introduce or reintroduce people to our brands because they're going to go out there, throw them, test them, do test drives. And yeah, they'll buy 1 or 2 discs from you. But when they're gone, when that person needs a new Trespasser, needs another Renegade, or wants to try out that new Warden, guess where they're going to go? They're now going to go to that disc golf shop that helped promote you, that was around while you were there, because now that disc golf pro shop is top of mind. And then you reap the rewards from building that relationship.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's just the simplest way to put it.
I'm going to keep it real too.
Oh, here it comes.
That day that they're out there with
Make sure this is patent pending, so be careful what you say.
that one day that they're out there with me, and it's these new players. Like we all know, it's these new players that, man, they got to get one of everything at some point. They're going to, and if they're with me for one day and they get a disc or 2, they're going to go in there tomorrow because maybe the one or two that they got's not right, but they need all the other ones that you got now because they got the bug. Because like Jeremy said, I was out there dancing and saying funny words to them, and they got all excited. So now they're going to come shop. So it's going to be good for y'all.
No wonder the roof wore out. Ty's been up there dancing.
Boy, Bobby, you know this. The boys weren't around for these back in the day, but Jeremy used to make you get on the roof and dance. Like you got to get the speakers on the roof and you get up there and get dancing.
That's right.
Ty, can you get that microphone and start dancing a little bit?
Didn't care if your life was in danger. We're getting those speakers up on the roof. Okay, so now we kind of talked. I think we briefly said some stuff about like you having custom discs, discs that you can't get anywhere except on the RVs.
Oh, I got a big announcement.
Are we gonna do some of that more of that in 2019?
I got a very, very special announcement. So Latitude 64. I tell it to a lot of my folks, and a lot of you guys have heard. These guys, they love the Florida, they love the South, they love the heat. It's like super cold and very dark where they're at. And so we developed the South 64 series 3 years ago. This will be the third year, actually, 2 years ago. So third year, we're coming on the year 3 for the South 64 series. And they started off giving us some T-shirts. We gave away 1,000 shirts. Last year, they upped the game to these 1,000 or 2,000 awesome dry fits. You guys, I know if you've played one of the events and got one, I know you love them. This year, they're giving me 1,000 more dry fits, but they are giving me 1,000 discs.
Whoa!
To use and distribute. We are getting. I'm not okay. Don't just like fry me on the plastics, but I believe we're getting Opto daggers.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't exist.
I'm sure people will like that.
We're getting, I believe I'm getting Gold Line X diamonds. Doesn't exist.
Okay.
It's pretty awesome for those new players that want them to go straight. I'm getting the Pioneer in a plastic that won't be available. That has yet to be determined. GLX, I believe.
How do I negotiate this deal?
Yeah. I'm calling it GLX. I said that to the Sweden guys. They're like, I don't know what GLX is, and I was like, well, it's just Gold Line.
Call it Glix.
So hopefully I'm getting that one in the GLX and the recoil. I'm also getting the recoil
in a special plastic too.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep. So look out.
All right. So we can't hold you to because we know how things happen.
The plastic types could change, but I'm 95% sure those are the molds we're going.
All right.
So I'm pretty stoked on that.
So even if you don't want to play in an event that Tyler's at, if you see any of the
you don't like me, but you know you want a good,
you want something unique and something only you can get at the RV. Make sure you pay attention to.
And outside of that, like thanks to Jeremy and the Hot Stamp team, Maddie, like we have an amazing TFR program that they allow us RV drivers to be a part of. So you can always get a CCT hybrid getaway that doesn't exist, or you can get a South of 64. Something else that's super awesome. Like this year, I'm trying to think what we had that was great that I loved having on the bus. Oh man, we had some Moonshine Harps. Like when Moonshine Harps first came out, they sold those out immediately. I mean, there's just so many great things that we do to support tournament directors and clubs that you guys can take advantage of on that TFR program. And they let us be a part of that too. So it's great.
Jeremy's over there typing an email. It's wondering why we can't get any of the cool stuff.
No.
Why is Tyler getting all the cool stuff? No,
I won't tell him how they shut the machines down just to make my frisbees.
Oh no, we definitely don't want to hear that. We've got too many other things to do. So you're out there seeing a lot of disc golf stuff happening. What do you think is going to happen with all these players switching teams and all this stuff going on in the disc golf world? New contracts, people getting 50-year contracts, and
I mean, I'm not old.
Turning their back on sponsors.
I might be old by numbers, but I'm not this game is still so young, and this whole contract thing that happened. I mean, it happened this year essentially. We maybe had a couple big players over the previous years, with Rick and Paul, but with what's happened for so many players this season, it is unbelievable. Like I was, man. Like our Facebook group, I just couldn't believe it. Like I wanted to just bombard you guys with messages from the road. Just my mind was just so blown. I just wanted someone to explain what happened to disc golf in the course of 1 year. Like Jeremy he's sitting here beside me trying to figure it out as he.
It all grows up and it all grows up.
Wow. Man, I think maybe like Discraft hit that Powerball, like that $1 billion Powerball or something.
That's what we're going to start doing. Lottery tickets.
Lottery tickets. Yes.
Who's in for 10? Who's in for 10 every week?
That's a smart investment there.
No, but I'm super happy for those guys. I mean, as the three of us sit here, we know those people, and we're certainly happy for them and the contract they will receive. We're always gonna be friends with those guys. I mean, shoot, man. there's so many funny pictures of Jeremy and all these guys when they were little guys, just fantastic. So I'm really happy for them. I'm excited for the future of the sport. Like Jeremy said before, those guys are been around a little bit more. They're a little bit cash flow issues are maybe a little different than ours. Being little guys on the block, youngsters like we are. I'm excited about where we'll be, 10 years down the road, and the support that we're still able to do. I still feel like we are the best at building our family and helping our family. So the family that we still have, on team, whether it be Latitude, Westside, DD, I'm excited for what, especially you guys. I said Anthony and Danny are here too now, to see what you guys can do to help support those guys and just empower them and empower us as a company and me. I appreciate what you guys do for me too. Thanks.
Absolutely. All right. So if someone wants to have you come out and check out their park and do an event, how do they get a hold of you? How do they know what's going on?
Get at me soon, because it's filling up fast. I'm sitting here in front of my schedule right now, and I'm completely booked into May.
Oh,
and
wow.
if I really took a little bit more time, I could probably have May done in a day. So, and I say completely booked, but if you ask me nicely and my wife looks the other way, I might slide your event into the schedule. But
Whew, yeah, that's a lot.
yeah, it's but yeah, get at me soon. And I would recommend email if you can. There's so many social medias anymore. I feel like sometimes the Zucks doesn't have the algorithms aligned, and all my messages on Facebook, like there's just 3 different pages people try to get at me from. Instagram, I feel like I never remember to look at that little mail direct message on the Instagram. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to email me, that's probably the best way these days. There's just so many channels, but you can hit me on all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be afraid to shoot. Please don't call me on my cell phone, but you can probably shoot me a text. My number's everywhere now, thanks to the PDGA. But yeah, I mean, shoot me a message on Facebook. It's just Tyler Searle. Hit me up on Instagram. It's at Ty Discs on all my socials. And then, shoot me an email is easy. It's Tyler@dynamicdiscs.com.
Nice. Anything I missed, gentlemen, to talk about, to let people know about Tyler on the RV?
Give us some of your favorite Cajun out there. Come on now. I haven't heard
Cajun.
I haven't heard your Cajun dialect for.
Yes.
I'm going to start uninviting Jeremy from the Christmas conversation. He makes me talk Cajun.
This is something that I think we talked about on a video or something where you encounter a lot of different accents.
Ty runs into all walks of life.
I love it, man.
And I think his favorite one is Cajun.
Oh, it's the best, man. It is so.
Why is it the best?
That community is so unique. That Cajun, and it's not New Orleans. If you've been to New Orleans, it's not that. I'm talking about when you get down to Bayou, and they just have their own sense of family and community, and it's different. Like when you get to Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Breaux-Bridge, and you get down there, and they love you, and they want to talk to you, Tato, and they want to have you come, and then you're gonna do the disc golf, and then we're going to have some food. We got to get the boudin ball. We got to get the crackling, and then you get to have the fun. Like we're going to go get the beer, and they got the good beer, and they're going to have the ball. We're going to have fun. They got to go to sugar. Got the sugar cane, got the alligator. I went fishing with Wiggins. And there was like alligators like right here, like one over there and one over here, and we're fishing, and I caught a fish that was like a lizard, I went zzz, and I was nervous just fishing.
It had the wrong point in evolution or something?
It was kind of some runoff pond right there, And I caught this fish, and it comes zzz, and it's probably 16 inches long, and it was like they said it was a shoe pick. It was a shoe pick, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. And I was like, I don't want to touch it. It looks like an animal, like it doesn't look like a fish. So I pick it up, and I've been fishing my whole life, and hunting and animals. I'm okay with this, like in most cases,
right?
But this was a fish that I wasn't real sure about how to touch. It had teeth, and so I reached down by its body, and there's a picture, and it looks so awkward. Like my legs are spread out, and I'm scared of this fish. And it's on an arm's length. Just take the picture, Chris. Take the picture. Get that thing back in the water. But when you go there, I wish it's on I-10, to go to Lafayette, and they take such good care of me. And thanks to Jeremy, last year we went to a basketball game. They opened a new arena, and we did a little sponsorship for the club. And we had the rice, and we had the jambalaya and the gumbo, and we had putting out in the parking lot, and it was just having a tailgate party at the basketball game at the University of Louisiana Lafayette. I love them.
So what kind of fish animal was it?
It was called a shoe pick.
A shoe pick.
Yep. I don't know what it is. And the guy that took us fishing, Scotty, he called his mom to see if she wanted to keep it because she'd been wanting to make some shoe pick soup. She said
Some shoe pick soup. I don't know that I'd want to order that if I saw that on a menu. Shoe pick soup.
I was glad that we didn't keep it. She said she was good, but she had been wanting some shoe pick soup.
Ty, I got some good news today. You talked about light going away at 4:45.
Yep.
Today is the winter solstice.
Oh yes, it gets better every day, guys.
This is the shortest.
Oh, and then now the days will still get a little bit longer and a little bit longer.
Starting tomorrow.
This
is the shortest day of.
So get my shorts out and t-shirt.
Get ready,
yeah.
Bob.
I mean, whatever you need,
Hey, Jamie and I were talking about this last night. I was like, man, why didn't Bobby text me back about going to South Florida? I thought you guys want to do some trips. She's like, who did you text? Like, I couldn't figure out who was on that text message. I was like, Bobby. He's like, what number do you have? And I read your phone number, and he's like, that's right. And then I looked at my messages, and I didn't text you. I texted Jeremy and just someone else to see if Jeremy and someone else wanted to go to South Florida.
Great. Now I'm a little upset because I would have gone to South Florida.
Yeah, it would have been pretty great. But we'll get you out there, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for this season. This first part of the year, the South Florida swing. It's so great to go south in the wintertime. Like I'm going next week. Because of how the holidays, like the first weekend in 2019 is like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and we're working. We're going to St. Pete. We're going to go to Max Beach, and then from there,
sounds warm.
Oh, it's nice. I'm going to the furthest southernmost campground in the United States in the Florida Everglades on my way from St. Pete all the way down, spending the night there in this national forest, and then going over to Fort Lauderdale and Oakland Park, and then Royal Palm Beach for my first ever SoFlo showcase.
SoFlo?
SoFlo. South Florida showcase. 3 sea tiers, 3 days, 3 different parks. So if you want to come to South Florida, play some sanctioned disc golf, because unfortunately everybody runs great, big, amazing tournaments in Florida. They're all 2 days or more. We'll run some 1-day sea tiers so you guys can come play this one, play that one, play 3 different courses, and have some fun in the sun.
You should do it at night so you do the SoFlo glow.
You got the SoFlo glow.
SoFlo glow, don't you
Bring
know?
some of that moonshine out there.
Yeah.
Moonshine glow in the dark.
You got it.
Nice.
You got it.
All right, Tyler. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, filling us in on last year and then what you got going on this year. I know you're ready to get out on the road and have some fun, get some disc golf adventures going.
I'm ready for a nap first.
Oh, you ready for a nap?
2 weeks, then we go.
Oh, okay. 2 weeks and then you'll go. So yeah, guys, make sure you check out Chasin The Chains on Facebook and make sure you reach out to Tyler any way you can. I'll put some of the links in the description for this podcast. That way you can just click it and send him a message if you want him in your area. If you want to just know where he's playing, that schedule will be on Facebook, right?
Yep,
That'd be
Chasin The Chains. That name is just Chasing the Chains.
Yeah.
Disc golf scene. Everything's on disc golf scene. If it's for me.
Disc golf scene, okay.
Yep. Yeah, they're out there. You can find it.
Excellent. All right. Thanks. And we wish you the best of luck for 2019.
Thank you guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, is it already almost 2019?
Let's go.